Tales of the Other Side may contain explicit language, violence, body horror, and other gruesome descriptions. Listener discretion is advised. Hey everybody, welcome back to Tales of the Other Side, an actual play Call of Cthulhu podcast about three strangers in the late 1920s who find themselves bound by cosmic fate to face waking nightmares unlike anything they could have imagined. I'm Matthew, your game master and keeper for this story. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 2. I wanted to give a really quick explanation of how 7th edition of Call of Cthulhu works, just for people who might not necessarily be familiar with the system. So unlike other systems like Dungeons & Dragons, which people might be familiar with, where, the higher you roll, essentially the better that your outcome is going to be, with Call of Cthulhu, the players have made characters, and depending on their backgrounds and occupations and whatnot, they have been given the ability to have a certain amount of points that they can put into certain skills. So somebody might put, more skills into spot hidden, or driving vehicles, or firearms, or whatnot, just depending on the kind of character they want to play. And then they'll roll a D100 whenever I ask them to make certain sort of checks, and they need to get within the skill number that they have. So say somebody has a skill of 75 for automobile handling, and they roll within that 75. So 75 or lower, they'll succeed. It's pretty easy once you kind of get understanding that it's generally lower numbers is better, but I realized we didn't really go through that the first time, so I'll try to kind of explain things as they go and explain some of the mechanics as we go along without getting too far into the path of what's actually going on. We're going to kind of do some more fun intros now that we've sort of just established everything. So in my research the last couple weeks, looking at just 1920s stuff, because I'm not even remotely close to knowing like a fraction of information about the 20s, I discovered that morphine was created around the early to mid 1800s. And then people started getting addicted to morphine, and they were like, you know what? I think we have the solution to fighting morphine addiction: heroin. So then they started sending people heroin packets as samples to be like, hey, get off, morphine and come do this heroin. And then people got addicted to heroin.
Wow, when you said fun fact, I totally was expecting that.
That was a really fun fact.
Yeah, you wrote a whole essay. I didn't plan a fun fact. Damn, bro. Hey guys, I'm Nathan, and I play Jonah Thurgood, and I totally didn't prep a fun fact like that, but I play Jonah Thurgood, an investigative journalist with an eye for the details and a story to tell. And just being in character, he takes better notes than you do.
On that note, I'm Nick, and I am playing Archibald Bauer, a professor of anthropology from Boston. I also didn't prepare a fun fact, but unlike my character, who was living during Prohibition, I have access to all the liquor I need.
I thought your fun fact was going to be that you're the most liked character in the show based off of 4 votes from the first episode.
That's true.
And on that note, I'm Noah.
The pun,
man. And I play Adam Whitlock. I did prepare a fun fact today. Did you know that giraffes are 30 times more likely to be struck by lightning?
That makes sense.
That's pretty cool fun fact, actually.
I mean, they're big.
Yeah.
They kind of just make sense.
They're tall.
They're basically like lightning rods that live. Well, on that note,
this is episode 2, Good Day Sunshine.
You're not sure how long you laid in the darkness, or why it was never truly just darkness, but instead flashes of faces and places you had never seen, being interrupted by prolonged moments of deep darkness. It frightens you how aware you are of your unconsciousness, feeling trapped within your own mind and body without any promise of returning to the light. Time ticks by, though none of it seems linear to you. Eventually, and to your extreme relief, light begins to return to your consciousness so you fully wake up, greeted by soft morning light, birdsong, cool breeze, and thin wispy smoke that fills your vision. You are no longer outside, near the smoldering rubble of the train, but in a building a few floors up. Through the open window, rich red-orange leaves lazily fall to the ground. You force yourself to move a little bit, finding yourself in a small room, lying in a comfortable bed alongside your 2 companions who occupy similar beds. A man, clad in his patrolman uniform, sits in a chair with a closed book in his lap and a smoking pipe clenched between his teeth.
That's awesome. I'll be the first one to break the silence and let out a big groan. Oh, what happened?
Adam, as you're stretching, you feel this dull thumping pain in your stomach, and you remember that's where you were stabbed by the eye. And it's almost just like a wake-up call that everything that happened was not a dream. And for you, Archibald, you feel a similar dull thumping pain in the left side of your neck.
Oh, I feel like shit. I look around, I see my companions in the beds next to me. Really, I'll just go to them first. Fellas, are you all okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. Are you okay?
I guess. Am I remembering right? Did the train explode?
Frankly, Adam, all I remember is fire. We're all just kind of chilling in beds. Like this appears like a hospital, almost, or is this something different?
I'm so glad you asked. Jonah, as a resident of Cedar Falls, you recognize this place as the Cedar Falls Inn. You've been here before for a previous and recent investigation. You're very much familiar with the layout of these rooms. Some of the rooms are more like boarding house. They're larger to accommodate a lot of beds. And it almost seems like it was made into a makeshift hospital room for you guys.
Do I recognize the man smoking the pipe?
You recognize him as Howard Nelson. He's a Cedar Falls patrolman. You maybe not have really interacted with him, but he's been around. The thing about patrolmen is that they walked around their beats the entire day, carrying everything with them, and it was less of, when they're called, they leave. They were around the town all the time. So you're familiar with the police force of Cedar Falls.
So he would be somewhat familiar to me. Okay.
Adam and Jonah, as you guys look at Archibald, you see that on the left side of his neck, he has this really deep purple bruise, about 1.5 inches wide, and it sort of curves up like a winding tentacle.
Just like etched into his neck.
It's more of a bruise. It seems surface level
Okay.
and not etched into it.
Can I open up my shirt and check where I was stabbed?
Yeah, when you undo your shirt and you look down onto your stomach, you see a damn near identical bruise.
I noticed them staring at my neck, and I'm just like, oh, is it as bad as it looks?
Can I check out his bruise?
Why don't you do a medicine check just to kind of check out this bruise and see what's up with it?
Could I potentially do? Well, I guess first aid wouldn't work. I'm not good at medicine. I'd have to roll a 1 to succeed.
I would say first aid.
Are you sure?
It's I mean, it looks like a bruise.
Okay. I'm gonna check it out.
I consent to you doing first aid on me.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Hey, Archibald, you mind if I take a closer look at your bruise?
Oh, yeah, if you think you can help.
I'm no doctor, but I can certainly try. And I rolled a 92, so I poke it.
Archibald, it doesn't hurt.
Oh, that's strange. I didn't really feel anything there.
Excuse me, sir. Is he just sitting there looking at us?
He has this book in his hand and he kind of keeps looking down at it, but as you guys are talking, he's glancing down from the book back up to you guys and just seems to be listening for the moment.
I guess I'll move the covers and stand up and get out of bed and stretch a little bit, feel the aches and pains from being in a train crash, and say, "Excuse me, sir. What happened? Where are we?"
He takes his closed book and he puts it on the ground and he stands up, still with the pipe clenched between his teeth. And Jonah, he gives you just a little nod in recognition, knowing who you are.
Well, gents, you're in Cedar Falls, is where you are. Cedar Falls Inn. You've been here for 6 days now, ever since the crash.
6 days?
6 days?
6 days.
Oh God. Oh no. Oh shit. Well, okay, we're alive, which is good. Oh God, my wife is gonna kill me.
Hearing that we've been out for 6 days, I'm gonna pull myself off the bed and go over to Howard. I'm gonna hold my hand out and be like, Howard, it's good to see you. What happened? That's not a normal event that happens on a train.
He takes your hand and he shakes it and he gives you a very weak smile.
Boys, why don't you sit back down for me? Might be easier to digest this if you're sitting down. There was an overheating in the engine. It caused an explosion that rippled through the entire train. You're lucky to be alive. Only 4 of you made it out. You and Henry Preston. And he pulls out a little notepad that has some names written on it. We found Rich Davis, Edwin Harris, Don Boyd, Will Richardson, George Richardson, and John Griffith. All the other bodies are just missing. Like, no trace of them at all.
No trace.
There was a woman named Eleanor on the train too. Was her body recovered? Did she make it?
We have no records of this Eleanor. The only ones that we found dead were those men. Everything else, we've been trying to search it. We've had search parties out there the last 6 days. It's turned up nothing.
And you said Henry is alive?
Henry's alive, yes, Henry Preston.
And Jonah, you recognize this last name, Preston. It is an important name here in Cedar Falls. And basically anybody who lives in Cedar Falls knows of the Prestons. The Preston family is the one that funded the new lumber mill, and with their wealth, they built the Preston Manor over in the west side of Cedar Falls.
Okay, and you said the first name was Henry?
It's Henry, yeah. So that is the kid.
Young guy.
The kid.
The young
okay.
guy. Yep, that wasn't Rich.
He woke up 2 days before you guys, screaming his head off. His mom came and got him, took him back home. That kid ain't okay. He ain't okay.
I'll throw eyes at my companions as like we might want to like go talk to this guy.
Sorry, Howard. Did you do any sort of interrogation when he woke up, or ask him about if he knew anyone else on the train? It seems like there's a lot of missing bodies. I don't know if there's a way of finding them.
How do I put this kindly? He was not in a place to be talking. All it was just screaming. So his mom came, took him back to the house, and nobody could have just helped. So hopefully, being back with his mother back in his house is beneficial.
That poor kid was in with the wrong crowd.
It's real suspicious having 3 people, aside from some bumps and bruises and scrapes, be completely unscathed from an explosion, and the rest are dead or missing. I'm not one to assume or make judgments or jump to conclusions, but seeing the 3 of you in the state that you are versus the state that kid was in, I don't get it.
And what might you be getting at there, Howard, if I may ask? You think we had something to do with Henry Preston's injuries?
No, I don't think so. I think very much that it has everything to do with the explosion. What my peers are more interested in is the fact that the 3 of you seem fine. Perfectly fine for being so close to an explosion. It just doesn't make any sense. And I'm not saying you did anything. I'm not saying that anybody else did anything. It's more of just, how could this occur?
Oh, indeed.
Howard, you know me. I've been in this town for a little while now. Trust me when I say the things that were on that train, the things that were going on. Frankly, I'm not even sure we can explain them.
There was a wild animal on that train, and it seemed like some of those men, at least that you found dead, especially John Griffith, he pulled a gun on us, if I remember correctly. And to be frank with you, sir, I am baffled myself. If anything, I feel like we all should be dead. Officer Howard, was it?
Yes, it's Howard. And who you be? I'm familiar with Jonah, but we searched for any sort of identification in your wallets, and it came up empty.
My wallet was empty?
Well, not empty. You still had all your money in there, but there was no form of identification at all for you.
And I just like pinched the bridge of my nose, and I'm like, oh, good. Well, I apologize. My name is Adam Whitlock. I am an archaeologist based out of Baltimore, and I was here in Cedar Falls, not I guess 6 days ago. I guess as you can tell by now, I have not left.
Well, you did leave. You were on that train, but seems you found your way back here.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I might have to cut this conversation short. I need to get to a post office.
Yeah, the post office is right next to the inn. You're lucky. It's not even a minute of a walk to get there.
I'm just gonna gather my things and rush out really quick. I turn to you guys too before I leave, and I'm like, I apologize, gentlemen. My wife is gonna kill me if I do not correspond to her immediately. I need to run to the post office.
Please, you don't have to explain yourself to us. Go do what you have to do.
Go respond to your wife.
Before you go, if I may,
Yes, sir.
be careful, all right?
I like raise an eyebrow at him, and I'm like, "What?" So, in Adam's mind, it was just like a crazy wild animal, and guys trying to steal from the luggage, and then the engine blew up. So to him, he's just like all like, "Well, shit, I survived a train crash." I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll be
Of
careful."
course. That's what happened.
The three of you have found yourself in the strange situation, and from what I can tell and what I know of Mr. Thurgood here, you all seem to be fine folk. I'd hate to see anything bad happen to you.
Well, that is much appreciated.
Yes.
Adam, keep an eye out for wild animals.
I like get goosebumps. I'm like, uh-huh.
Howard, it's great to see you. Are they still searching out there 6 days later?
They've been searching since the explosion happened. Someone called it in from nearby, sent out droves of people from all sorts of towns. We've had our people from Cedar Falls out there every single day searching.
Has there been any unexpected events that have happened since in town?
I don't think so. The most unexpected thing that happened was the three of you showing up at the footstep of the inn with no warning whatsoever. Still completely unconscious from the explosion.
Did you see who dropped us off or who got us here?
It was the middle of the night. Someone must have taken a vehicle. It's not very common for this town, but we never heard it, so your arrival here was suspicious.
So you're saying someone deliberately brought us here for some reason?
It seems that way. I like to think that it's out of the kindness of their heart that they brought you back here so you could be taken care of, but you just never know, do ya?
Not in this town. How are the residents taking it?
Some are upset to hear the passing of them, some others are indifferent. Mr. Griffith had quite a reputation amongst some different crowds here. His death is being received differently amongst different people.
It's John Griffith, you said he was, well, seems like he was pretty well known around here. Would you happen to know any of these folks that saw him in a good light?
I can sure as hell tell you someone who saw him in a bad light.
Please.
Miss Loretta Preston.
Oh, okay.
As far as good light goes, anybody who, had dealings that are less than favorable, we saw him around some crowds that we weren't quite fans of, but we never had any sort of hard and fast evidence to nail him down with anything.
I see. So this Loretta Preston, if I'm understanding correctly, would she be related at all to Henry?
Yes, that's his mother, the one that came and got him just 2 days ago to take him back to their manor.
Well, you know what, Jonah, you would know because you're familiar with the history of the town. Loretta was married and had Henry and his sister, but then her husband died, and she was a widow for a while.
Okay.
John's the stepdad.
If there's any other questions that I could answer for you fellas, just let me know, but I need to get back to my beat. I've been here for the last 6 days, sitting and waiting for y'all to wake up.
Yes. I apologize for taking up so much of your time.
No, please, don't apologize. I'm happy to do it. I know Jonah here's a good man, and if you associate with him, I also assume that you're a good man, so I'm happy to have done it.
They are good people, Howard. And I can't thank you enough for what you've done here.
Of course.
Howard, thank you for taking care of us, and I am absolutely famished.
I feel like I haven't had a decent meal in almost a week.
Would you care to grab some and maybe go over what we just endured?
Yes, I think that would be wise.
As Jonah and Archibald are gathering their things and starting to head down so they can meet up with Adam outside the post office, Adam, you are inside and it's not very busy. It is a Sunday around 10 a.m., so church is still in session. So many people are not out and about right now. You walk in, the post office has shelves full of letters and boxes, and it seems pretty full. You kind of get the impression that a train is going to be coming soon to be getting mail, so you got in just in time.
I'll rush right up to the front desk and be like, excuse me, I need to mail a letter urgently.
Oh, sure. We can get your letter out right away, sir. Who will it be to?
My wife, Juno Whitlock. I have the address and everything, and I assume it's like I dictate the message.
Mhm.
I'll just say, hello, Juno. I'm okay. The train blew up. Stuck in Cedar Falls at the moment. We'll write you a letter tomorrow. I love you at the end. And then I'll slip a couple of dollars in there too.
Sorry, you said you were on the train that exploded.
Yes, sir. I was.
Interesting. This should get out to Miss Juno Whitlock before too long.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. He asked me a question about the being on the train.
He asked you were on the train. You said yes, and he just kind of gave you a confused look.
I'll just like turn and leave and be like, this town is weird.
Adam, Archibald, and Jonah, you guys all find yourselves in between the inn and the post office.
I'll catch up and be like, sorry about that, gentlemen. The letter is sent. Hopefully she's not too mad at me.
I'm sure she'll understand.
Hell, I'm starving.
Yeah, we were just trying to find some place to go. I think Jonah maybe knew some places.
Yeah, you're from here, ain't you?
Yeah, we've got 3 options, gentlemen. One I would not really recommend because I don't feel like spending a lot of money today. But we've got 3 options. We've got Randy's Diner. It's just down the street, and I'll point towards Randy's Diner, which is just literally 2 buildings away. Nestled in between the barber shop. It's honestly a pretty good place to eat. It's a little cheap. You know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get food. It's not gonna be high class or low class, but it's a good place to eat. We do also have the Red Maple restaurant, and I'll pull out my pocket watch and see what time it is. It's like, ooh, church is about to get out of session, and, well, I wouldn't recommend going there during church. It's very hectic and very expensive, and I really don't feel like dealing with the cranky old ladies after church. No offense, they're wonderful on any other day except after church. And then there's the Working Man Diner. The Working Man Diner is at the end of town. It's a long ways away, but we can go there if you want. It's where all the factory workers work.
I guess I'm sold on Randy's Diner. My pockets are not lined, so I think Randy's works the best for me.
I think Randy's is a fine choice.
I do have a pit in my stomach and I am famished, so I really didn't want to walk that far anyway.
Lead the way.
You step off the road and onto the red brick walkway that leads to Randy's. Stands in front of you a simple wooden rectangle with a long, rounded roof, adorned with a painted sign that says Randy's in a rich forest green. Your stomach growls, reminding you how long it's been since you've eaten. Inside is bustling with a late Sunday morning, post-church crowd. Many of the plush stools and seats are already occupied, but you manage to find a table near a window large enough to accommodate the 3 of you. Glasses of silverware clink and clatter, indistinct conversations rage on, workers yell out orders, and ceiling fans spin slowly. It's nice to be in such a familiar place after such a strange evening you had 6 days ago.
Waitress, can we get some help here?
A young woman in probably her late teens, early 20s walks over. She's wearing her waitress uniform and she's got a name tag and it says Clarissa Smith on it. Good morning, fellas. How can I help you today?
I'm gonna start with a cup of coffee.
Why, yes, absolutely. I can get that for you. And what can I get for you, fine gentleman?
Oh, a cup of coffee sounds delectable right now.
I'll just do a water. Adam's go-to breakfast meal is 2 eggs over easy with sausage patties and rye toast.
What's Noah's go-to breakfast order?
It's that exactly.
That's what I was wondering.
Jonah's gonna order an Eggs Benedict.
I think Archibald's gonna get 2 eggs sunny side up, 2 slices of bacon, and a biscuit if they have them here.
All right, I'll get that started for y'all right now, and I'll be right back in a minute with those. So after a few minutes, Clarissa Smith comes back out with plates of piping hot food, 2 cups of coffee, and a crystal clear glass of water, placing it in front of you, giving you a smile, and walking away, leaving you to your conversation.
So, gentlemen, I guess we need to talk, cause we've been unconscious for 6 days, and what happened on the train, I mean, I ain't ever seen anything like it.
So it seems we all remember the same thing then, yes? It wasn't just a bad dream?
Floating briefcase, eye monster.
Yes, wild animal, engine failure, train blows up.
My goodness, I've never heard of anything like this, let alone being a part of it.
You know what? Something's been nagging at me since we talked to Officer Howard. He let us go real easy. I don't know if that's like just something they do around here. I mean, you might know, Jonah. I feel like train derails, 3 men show up completely fine, really. I feel like I wasn't in a train accident. And then what? He's like, well, gentlemen, you're good to go. You look fine to me.
I will be honest, Cedar Falls is not exactly stranger to strange occurrences, but a train derailment is a little on the extreme end, and I'm a little curious as to why he let us go like that too. But I'm more happy than worried.
I did have a very brief conversation with the postman, and he asked me if I was on the train because I mentioned it in my letter. I told him, why, yes, I was on that train, and he kind of just looked at me all confused. Didn't say anything else, and I left. I don't know. I just found it very strange.
I think the first step is gather as much information as we can. We've only heard from one person, Howard himself, that there's 4 survivors to this train. Apparently, Henry is indisposed, and I feel like there might be more to this. And I'm gonna call Clarissa over again. Hey, Clarissa, what all have you heard about this, the train derailment the other day?
Well, I heard that there was some sort of explosion in the engine, and that only 4 of y'all came back, including Henry, who we took some food to the other day. Well, we took it to his mom, and she made sure to give it to him, because with her husband being gone and her son being injured, it didn't seem right to make her have to take care of him and cook right now. So some of us took on some food the other day, and she said that he was doing a little better, which was good to hear. But that's about it. I also heard that they've been sending people out to search the woods and search around where the train crashed every night, hoping to find some survivors or some indication of where people may have gone.
Well, thank you, Clarissa. It's very kind of you. Everyone at Randy's is great.
I say let's all take a deep breath and enjoy our meal, and maybe put this train business out of our minds for a little bit. I guess I'll go first. Let me tell y'all a little bit about myself. As you know, Adam, I have a wife and a son. My wife's name's Juno, and she's a lovely woman. She's extremely fiery and gets on my case quite a bit, but I wouldn't be with anybody else. My boy Virgil, he's a good kid. Goodness, how old is he now? 10, I think. I miss him, really. I have to leave home quite a bit to make some money up in Baltimore, and I really would like to get back to them as soon as I can. And if y'all don't mind, I'd like to know a little bit more about yourselves.
Well, as you know, I'm Jonah Thorogood. I moved here to Cedar Falls not too long ago. Say about a year or two. Time flies. Honestly, I came here hunting for stories. The mundane and the strange, and I'm originally from New York, got some family out there, went to school out there. But yeah, now I just collect stories from the folks in town, and sometimes find some more intriguing stuff personally that I go hunt on my spare time. That's why I was on the train to begin with. Now it seems I found my way back to Cedar Falls, and I have another story to figure out.
You got any family?
They're all out in New York. I got my parents, but that's really about it.
What about you, Mr. Bauer?
What about me? Well, as you know, I am a professor in Boston. That's actually where I grew up. Just a small little house. We had nice woods in our backyard I would love to play in. I lived a pretty normal life out there. I decided to pursue my education and further it. And well, the reason I'm down here is I was giving a series of guest lectures down in North Carolina, and I was just making my way back home to Boston.
Well, gentlemen, I really do appreciate y'all. It seems like we're in this together. As much as I do want to get home to Juneau, I'm just so curious about what seems to be going on. I could take a couple of days, recover, and maybe we could do some investigating. I mean, we got an investigator right here, so
I do have some people that I'd like to talk to.
Yes, and given your suspicions about Howard, the patrolman, I think he might not even want us to leave if we wanted to. I imagine the only reason he let us go so early is he assumed that we weren't in some state to recount what happened. But I'm certain he'll ask more for our accounts later on.
well, yeah, I even told him that John pulled a gun on us, and I mean, he was surprised by that, but it wasn't like he was taking notes or anything.
One thing that's very interesting to me, this Henry Preston, the only other surviving member that we know of from the train, I feel like he may have some connection to this group. In fact, I believe we heard that he did. He was seen with this group before the train. I hope that he'll be able to give us something to go off of.
Henry is the son of Loretta Preston, and Loretta Preston and John Griffith were together until his untimely death a couple days ago. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. The Prestons are the family in Cedar Falls.
I see. Excuse me, Clarissa, you got a pen I could borrow?
Well, sure as heck do. Here you go, mister.
And I'll take a napkin and I'll just say, okay, well, we got a couple of things that I guess we need to do to investigate. I figure we make a list. So right off the bat, we should talk to Henry. And then I vaguely remember you all finding something on the train.
Yeah, I'll whip out the matchbook.
We have that matchbook from what'd you say it was a speakeasy?
Yeah, keep it on the down low. It's the dolled up dame.
We should probably check that out, right?
That actually was going to be one of the places that I checked out. Would I have known if, like, John Griffith or any of the shady associates frequented the speakeasy?
You've been there before, and you had not seen John in the few times that you had been there.
Okay.
So far, we have to talk to Henry and check out this secret place, Dolled Up Dame.
My thought is, with Henry in the state that he is and his position of wealth in the city, I find it might be a little difficult to have a conversation with. I think we might find better luck going to this dolled up dame and just asking around. I'm sure some of these people know either John Griffith or any of the others.
I'm so sorry. Did you say that you were trying to go talk to Henry?
Well, we definitely have a lot of questions to ask him. Would he be available for these? Do you know?
Well, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I was just walking by. Like I said, we took some food the other day. If you're looking for an excuse to go talk to him, we can give you a couple plates of food, and that can be your way in to talk to him.
Well, thank you, Clarissa. We might have to take you up on that. What do you think, gentlemen? A chance to talk to Henry?
Yeah, I mean, if it is a chance, I guess we should take it.
I do agree.
So you guys finish eating, you have a nice meal, you pay your tab, and get this food to take to the Preston Manor. You guys leave, you walk for quite a little while. The manor is on the far west part of town. You walk past these two-story Victorian houses along Westview Road. For too long, the houses stop, but the sidewalk continues, leading closer to the woods. And you see the Preston Manor in the distance. As you finally approach it, the concrete sidewalk ends to abruptly transition to a red brick walkway. A long white fence encloses lush green grass, tall trees, and a stunning manor. The manor itself is 2 stories of neatly laid brick and a front entryway that sits between tall pillars that hold up an intricately designed roof. Green shutters sit on either side of large glass windows with fresh white trim. The Preston Manor makes even the wealthier homes in Cedar Falls look like nothing but shacks. You walk up the stairs to the grand front entry doorway as a cool breeze pulls down more of those red-orange leaves that elegantly layer against the ground around you.
This is a mighty fine house.
Yes. Have you ever been around here, Jonah?
I don't normally walk this way. This is the more wealthy end of town, and unless I'm here for a story, I don't normally come out this way.
I guess I'll just knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and as the door opens, you see a beautiful woman in her early 30s. She has probably been crying recently. Her eyes are a little dark, her face is kind of puffy, but she is wearing a simple ankle-length red dress with a waist tied back, and her bobbed hair is adorned in a black hat. She seems that though she may be mourning, she is still trying to put on a positive outward appearance. She gives you a smile, she looks at the three of you, and she just says,
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Is there something I can help you with?
Miss Loretta Preston, it's lovely to meet you. I'm Jonah. This is Adam and Archibald.
Hello.
We were actually just on the Cedar Falls train that just had the unfortunate events transpire, and we wanted to bring you and your son Henry some food.
Oh, well, that's so kind of you. I thank you. Is this from the diner?
Well, of course, nothing but the best from Randy's.
Ha, they're so sweet there. They came by a few days ago to bring him some food. It's just been so nice to have the support of the town after everything that's happened. Please, come on in.
Yes, ma'am. Speaking of all of that, we were kind of hoping to talk to Henry about some of the things that might have happened on that train, if that were possible at all.
Yes, I think it could be possible. Why don't you step in? It's, step on in and we'll talk about it for a moment.
as you guys step through the front door and into the foyer, you are greeted with just one of the most luxurious views you've ever laid your eyes on. Directly above you is a glorious chandelier, and in front of you is a fine wooden staircase with carved designs along the side panels. The whole interior is rich paneled wood, ornate rugs are spread throughout the interior, and it just takes your breath away.
Henry is, yes, you can speak to Henry, of course. He would probably enjoy some company, especially knowing people have also survived. There was a great deal of questioning about whether anybody else had, if it was just him. And when he found out that there were 3 other survivors, he was happy. He's been taking it hard, thinking that it wasn't fair that he was the only one that survived. So I think it'd be good for him to know that some others did. Just be kind. He's had a rough few days.
I do have one question, and I really hope I'm not being rude by asking this, but would you mind telling us what your husband John was like?
That bastard!
Oh, oh my.
Yes, I'd be more than happy to tell you everything that I know about John. I'm so glad he's gone. If I have to be completely honest right now, it's something I have not told anybody. I'm so glad he's gone. He has been nothing but a lying scoundrel since I met him, and I couldn't see it for such a long time. But finally, when the veil was ripped from my eyes, I saw him for who he was.
Now, again, forgive me, but it appeared to me when we first met that you had been crying, and I had assumed you were crying over your dead husband, but please explain further. We had an altercation with him on the train before everything happened.
An altercation is putting it mildly. Your ex-husband threw a gun on us.
To answer your question, not a single tear that I've shed in sadness has been shed for John. Every single tear that I've shed out of sadness has been for my son. I have cried tears of joy knowing that John is no longer here to plague our family. If you must know, John and I met 3 years ago at church. First he was sweet, but after some time it was obvious he was just interested in my money. I tried to get him to leave numerous times, but he always had some excuse. Oh, Loretta, I can't, I have business this weekend. I shouldn't leave because I'll have nowhere else to go. Or, no, Loretta, you know my mother's sick, so if I leave, I will have no place to come back to, and I'll have no money to take care of her. There's always something with him. I think what bothered me even more than him trying to take my money was that he just never got along with Henry or Amelia, Henry's older sister. Finally, Henry came home for a week from college. It's his first year. And he just wanted to visit. John said, I want to take him on a trip, have some time to bond since I've known him for so long and we have nothing in common. And then one moment they're there, and the next I find out they're boarding the 3 a.m. train.
Just to be clear, there was no talk about Henry joining John on this train. It kind of just happened.
Oh, absolutely not. Henry hated John. He still hates him from what I hear. It was just that all of a sudden Henry was home for a week. John said, I'm taking the boy up to New York for some business. I want to spend some time with him, get to know him a little more. And then they were gone.
Archibald, did you grab that letter from the train car that we found?
The letter. Oh, yes, the letter.
Would you mind showing that to Loretta?
Of course. Don't really remember where I put it, but I reached for a piece of paper. Is this the letter you're referring to?
Ma'am, do you recognize the handwriting on this letter?
No, not at all. Was this with John?
We think so.
I know that he works at the barber shop and said that he would play cards with his coworkers afterwards, but I always assumed that he was doing something else.
The barber shop, you say?
Yes, he worked at the barber shop.
How often did he go to the barber shop?
Oh, well, he worked there Monday through Sunday. Except when we were at church, of course.
Well, ma'am, do you think maybe Henry is ready now? We could go talk to him.
Loretta leads you guys up to that staircase by the front entrance and to the second floor of the house. When you get to the landing, you round the corner of the stairs and approach a door that's slightly ajar, and Loretta knocks and she says,
Henry, sunshine. It's Mom. You have visitors.
She enters through the door, and you see Henry sitting facing away from you in a chair that is just directly in the sunbeam. And Loretta walks up to Henry, rests a hand on his shoulder, and whispers to him. After a moment, she turns around with a smile on her face, gives her son a squeeze on his shoulder, and begins to walk towards you.
I know I said it before, but please be kind to him. It's been a rough few days.
And with that, Loretta leaves the room and closes the door behind her.
Henry? My name is Adam Whitlock. We we didn't really meet, but we were all on the same train. We got some questions for you. I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to know?
We can't see his face, right?
Yeah, he's faced away from you. His back is towards you.
When he speaks, I'm looking at Archibald and Jonah. What do we want to know, guys?
You guys don't have to stand behind me. It's kind of rude. Go on around the front so I can see you guys.
Of course, Henry.
Yeah.
We walk towards him.
Mm-hmm. Walk around in front.
And as you guys walk towards him, you get a good look at him. His left arm from the shoulder down is mangled and burned, and the veins stand out as they're sickly green and raised significantly as if pushing against the boundaries of his skin, all while having some sort of innate faint glow. Scattered black welts ooze clear pus, adding a wet shine to the entirety of his forearm. His face is an even worse sight. The entire left side of his face has been permanently contorted, as if a painter took a wet paint and swirled it. It's inhuman, all except for the exposed cheek and jaw that are bright red with exposed flesh and blood, and charred black teeth that seem barely anchored into his mouth. The entirety of his neck is burnt and discolored, also lined by bulging green veins. Every time he swallows or breathes, you can tell it's excruciatingly painful for him, taking every effort to perform these human basic functions. I'm gonna have you guys give me a sanity check.
Sweet. I got a 24.
That's an 81 for me.
I have a 66 and I rolled a 67. Are you kidding me?
Adam, you're going to lose 1 sanity, and Archibald and Jonah, you guys are going to lose 1d4 plus 1 sanity.
Somebody roll a 4. Somebody roll a 4. Please, I'm begging you.
Gentlemen, that's a 4.
Did you actually roll a 4? Because that's what I rolled too.
You both roll. Uh-oh. Whoops, I said something.
As you look at this horribly mangled face of this young man, you are going to have a bout of madness. You lose some self-control right now. And for Jonah and Archibald, your reaction is to go into this frenzy, and you run out of the room and into different rooms on the second floor of the house. You're going to be going through 2 distinct phases of insanity. First is your short bout of madness, which right now is you guys going into a frenzy and going into different rooms trying to escape from this horror that you've seen. For 7 minutes, you guys run to other rooms. You don't know where you are. You don't know who you are. You're so scared that you just get out of there and your mind goes blank. At the end of your guys' bout of madness, you're going to be sort of fragile in the mind for 7 hours.
Jesus. You see Jonah just sitting there rocking back and forth with his head in his hands, going, "It's happening again. It's happening again. It's happening again." And she's just repeating that phrase over and over again.
Archibald is just pacing back and forth furiously. His face is blood red. He's like grabbing his hair and like talking to himself.
Adam, you find yourself alone with Henry.
That's pretty much what I expect when people see me nowadays.
It's not a pretty sight to see someone like this. No human should look like this.
You look sick. Have you been to the doctor?
They've tried. They've tried everything. At this point, nothing is gonna fix this. This is just who I am forever now, and I'm gonna have to start getting used to that. Do you see it too when you sleep? I can't sleep anymore. Every time I close my eyes, I see it. I see it. You know that thing that was in the briefcase? I think it's in me. I think it's got its soul inside of me, haunting my dreams, making me look like this.
Oh, kid. I'm sorry. I don't really know what to say.
He grabs you by the shoulders and stares at you with his one good eye.
Every time I try to sleep, I see John. I see his face exploding. And from the explosion, tentacles sprout out and try to get me. They try to surround me and drag me into the depths of him. He's trying to kill me even when he's dead. He's trying to kill me.
Adam is completely speechless, but I think he's like in dad mode right now. I don't have words, but I'm just gonna give the kid a hug.
He is sobbing in your shoulder, and you can tell that it is terribly painful for him to even cry right now. And he gasps for breath, and it sounds like he's choking on his own throat, just gasping for air.
Let's sit down, kid.
He sits down on the edge of his bed and just looks at you with his face wet with tears and blood.
This is a very unfortunate situation, to say the least. God, I'm bad at this. If it's too much, you don't have to say anything, but what was in the briefcase?
Whatever you saw is what I saw. She never showed me what it was. We didn't talk about that.
Okay. Well, then I guess my next question is gonna be, what was John doing with this thing? I know he's some type of gambling man or something, but he seems to. I mean, I don't know. What is there anything you can tell me?
I came home from college, right? I just wanted to see my mom. And he comes up to me and he says, "Hey kid, we're going on a trip. We're gonna go out to New York. We're gonna spend some time together, get to know each other a little more. It's been 3 years now and I feel like I barely even know you, kid." Get on the train. We're winding down for the night and he says, "Look, Henry, I want to tell you what I really do, and I want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with it. I don't care about him. I don't care about his business. I want him to leave me alone. I want to go to New York and enjoy it. I don't want to think about him." I try to leave, try to tell him I just want to go to bed, and he grabs me by my arm, and I tell him again, I don't care. John, I don't care. And he hit me in the face. And so I kicked him in the leg, and I ran to the dining car and I grabbed a knife, and when I finally got the courage to go back with the knife, he wasn't there. And I saw Will dragging the conductor and the engineer into his room. And the next thing I know, I'm going in there trying to figure out what's going on. They have this briefcase, it's floating and glowing green lights, and then you guys show up and it explodes. I don't see John's face ever again except for when I sleep and for the days when I was unconscious. So everything was just black, surrounding his face, just smiling at me and saying he wants to tell me what he does. And then his face exploding with those tentacles.
Wow. I really am sorry. Me and my friends, even though they're predisposed at the moment, we're trying to piece together what's going on, and I may sound hopeful, too hopeful, but maybe if we can find some answers, we might be able to find some answers for what might be affecting you and help solve that problem. I know he was your stepfather. Did he happen to have like a study or maybe some personal belongings that he kept at this house?
Henry points to the room where Archibald is. That's his study. The one where your friend is pacing around the floor right now.
I'm sure you don't mind if we take a little look around.
Can I just ask you one thing before you guys look around?
Of course. What is it?
I need you to be honest with me. As honest as you've ever been with somebody in your entire life.
Okay.
If you were me, and you looked like this, and every time you try to go to sleep, you see the guy who abused you, doing it again from the grave, would it be worth it to stay alive?
Shit, man.
This is heavy shit, man.
It's okay, just answer it.
Yeah, I'll just give you an answer. Just give you an answer really quick.
Answer.
That's totally fine. Okay. Now, son, I'm under the belief that humans are capable of overcoming anything, whether it's financial hardship or hardships in relationships. It could be the worst thing in the world, and I believe that people can rise above it. And I feel the way they do that is through kindness. And so, I guess all that to say, if you can't be kind to yourself right now, try to do something for others, and maybe you can find it within yourself someday to do the same.
He just solemnly shakes his head in response and holds out his right hand, the one that was not damaged in the fire, and very much in a handshake sort of way.
I take it in both of my hands and I say, Henry, if it would bring you some joy, even if it's a small amount, I'd like to write to you every once in a while and check in and see how you're doing.
He just grabs your hand a little tighter and nods his head vigorously.
Now that's going to be a promise, all right? And so if I write you a letter, I expect one back.
I think I can manage that. Luckily, my right arm is the one I write with, and it's not the one that got damaged, so I can still write letters back to you.
Well, good. Now, I'll leave you be and take a look around John's study and do some investigating, and I just might check up on you before I take my leave from this town.
And as you walk away, he shuts the door, and you can just hear him crying. Archibald, as you are pacing back and forth, seeing nothing but this red haze in your entire vision, it suddenly snaps back like someone took you out of the darkness, turned on a light, and you find yourself standing in the middle of what you can just assume is a study. There is a plush chair in the corner, a big open window that looks out into the backyard, and a big wooden desk. And as you're getting your bearings, you just see the shadow of Adam appear in the doorway.
I'll rush up to Archibald and I'll like grab him by the shoulders and I'm like, Mr. Bauer, are you all right?
Get away from me.
I let him go and back up a little bit. And I'm like, it's okay. It's me, Adam. You're okay. You're in the Preston house where we just talked to Henry. I just talked to Henry.
Yes.
Everything's fine. Nobody's trying to hurt you.
Henry. The last thing I remember was being led up to Henry's room. It was bright. I walked towards him, but I sort of like reached for my forehead and cringe in pain. Oh, something horrible happened, and now I'm here.
Yes, he was quite a sight. you and Jonah both freaked out and ran in different directions. Are you all right? What happened? He didn't look. I mean, he looked bad, but I didn't have nearly the reaction you all had.
I don't know what came over me. I usually don't lose my composure like that. I guess seeing him reminded me of what we saw that day. I have to be honest with you, Mr. Whitlock. I'm still very scared of what we saw. I don't know when I'll be able to go back to my normal self.
I'll put a hand on your shoulder and look. We're all in this together. I just want you to know I will not leave you behind. So let's all take a deep breath. I understand this is an extremely odd situation. Maybe we can refocus. Right now, we're standing in John's study, and I was thinking we could poke around a little bit.
Oh, yes, of course. As soon as Adam says this, Archibald sort of like perks up, and it's like he's trying to forget what he saw, and he's becoming solely focused on this new task. Yes, we need to learn as much as we can. John Griffith. You said this was his study, right? Does he have things in here, or
Well, I was talking to Henry, and he said that this was his study. Why don't you go check on Jonah, make sure he's okay, and I'll poke around a little bit in here, and y'all can come in and help me.
okay? I can do that. I start leaving the room, and do I see where Jonah went?
Through a set of double doors, very tall, like very expensive looking wooden doors, you see Jonah is in a corner, like rocking back and forth, and you see he's in the library. There is a long row of bookshelves on the left side of the wall. On the like front, like directly in front of you, across from you, is a giant window that looks out onto the backyard. And on the right side, there is two chairs and almost like a lounging couch.
What is Jonah doing right now?
Jonah is curled up in the fetal position, bawling his eyes out, rocking back and forth.
Hell yeah.
You just hear him muttering, "It's happening again. It's happening again. It's happening again. It's happening again."
Mr. Thorogood, Mr. Thorogood. I move towards him and place my hand on his shoulder. Mr. Thorogood, are you okay?
Archibald?
Yes, it's me. It's me, Archibald.
You see Jonah kind of looks around. Why am I in the library?
Seems you and I had an unpleasant reaction to seeing Henry, and we sort of lost our minds for a bit there. But I assure you, everything is okay. Let's just focus on getting everything back together.
You see, he grabs your arms and grabs them. He white knuckles both your arms, and he's like, "I saw it again. I saw what brought me to this town. I didn't want to see it again."
What brought you to this town? Are you referring to what we saw on the train, or is this something else?
No. I saw some things back home. Made me interested in all this weird, strange stuff. And he takes a couple deep breaths, and he's like, I'd rather not describe it right now. Might be best later when my mind is in a better, saner state. That poor boy, what that train did to him. I'm very sorry, Archibald. Let's get on task, and let's figure out a way to help this young man.
Yes, it's absolutely horrible, and we need to do whatever we can to find out why this happened so that it will never happen again. I turn my head and look at the bookshelf. I say, this might be a good place to start. I imagine they probably have a lot of books here that maybe don't exist anywhere else. Maybe there's some knowledge of this town, the people in this town, maybe some knowledge even of the speakeasy that we presume that Mr. Griffith went to. It might help to take a look around just for a little bit.
So let's start with Adam. Adam, you are in John's study right now. Is there anything you're specifically looking for, or do you just want to do like a general spot hidden looking for anything out of the ordinary that might help you out?
I don't really have any idea of like something specific. So I'm just gonna do a spot hidden. Okay. Going in. I got a 37. My spot hidden damn. My spot hidden is a 55, so I got a success.
Awesome. So while you're looking around in his study, you pull out one of the drawers in his desk. Like you lift up this false bottom of the drawer, and it's just like a wooden panel. And as you pull it up, you see that there is a small stack of papers, and it ties John to the bootlegging operations within the Dolled Up Dame. Specifically, that he meets with suppliers and unloads the alcohol into the speakeasy.
I'll pocket that. I don't really know how that like helps us figure things out. I guess we can give that to the cop if we wanted to bust the alcohol ring. But I don't think we really want to do that. So I'll pocket it and then go look for the others.
You meet Jonah and Archibald in the library. Why don't the two of you give me a library use skill?
Yeah, I definitely did not succeed. An 83.
That's a regular success for me.
So, Archibald, as you are looking around, there are plenty of books that are just like common books you'd find in any library. You see some that are about the history of Cedar Falls that are much more recently written than you would have expected. And sticking out of one of the books, you find a scrap of paper with a handwritten note. It says the following: MTWFS 2330 KHZ. Capital T, lowercase t, capital S, lowercase s. 2325 KHZ.
Gentlemen, I've found a rather interesting note here. MTWFS, and I'm not entirely sure, but these seem like some sort of radio frequencies. 2330 KHC. What do you gentlemen make of this?
I'm inclined to agree with you. What did you say it was? MTWFS?
Yeah.
Those could be days of the week, so if we can find a radio, that might be a little more helpful, but we might tune into that on that certain day.
I would have to agree with both of you. I think it's a good start.
Why don't we go ask Loretta if she has a radio we can borrow? I'm sure she's wealthy enough to have one, I guess. But before we do that, I did find some paperwork that links John to the distribution of alcohol to the speakeasy, but that was about all I could find.
On this second floor, there are 5 rooms. You've been in John's study and the library. There are 2 more rooms with wooden doors that are closed, and there's a room with a glass door that leads out onto a balcony looking out into the backyard. That is up to you. You do not have to investigate anything. You don't have to look anywhere. Just letting you know this was the layout because I neglected to say it when you guys had first walked upstairs.
I think Adam wants to get a little bit of fresh air, so he'll step out onto the balcony for a second.
As you go out onto the balcony, you don't even need to investigate. You see that there are these 2 wooden chairs and a long wooden table between them, and sitting on the wooden table is a wooden box that is closed.
Oh, my curiosity is getting the better of me. I'll take a look inside.
It's not locked or anything. There's like a metal latch on it, but it's not locked. You just flip the metal latch up, and as you pull the top of the box open, you see that there is this rich purple cloth that is covering a 38 revolver.
And there's nothing else in this box?
That's it.
I'll just close the box and walk away. Y'all, I went out to get some fresh air. There's this weird box sitting on the table out there. Some nice purple cloth wrapped up in that was a 38 revolver. I mean, this town is just
Oh,
getting weirder and weirder.
I must imagine that was Mr. Griffiths. I don't really see a woman like Loretta owning something like that.
Did it have any markings or anything like that?
Just look like a regular old gun to me. But I'm no expert. I hardly like guns. I very much dislike them, to be frank with you.
Well, gentlemen, unless Jonah, you want to inspect this weapon, I say we head downstairs and find Loretta.
I'm mighty fine without doing that. I think we've come here to do what we sought out to do, and I think it's only fair that we speak to Loretta before we leave.
All right, that settles it.
As you guys walk downstairs and get onto the first floor, you don't see Loretta. She's not anywhere around where she was before. But when you look around a corner, you see that there is a glass door that leads to the backyard. And through that glass door, you can see Loretta sitting in a chair on the back patio.
We'll walk out to the backyard.
Loretta!
As you walk out to the backyard, Loretta doesn't even really react to the fact that you guys are out there, that any noise was made by the door. And as you look, you see that there is a syringe with a needle in it sitting on the ground near her feet.
Is this syringe empty? Are there any drops at all inside of it? Or.
There is like a teeny tiny bit of liquid left in it.
Okay.
I'll take a look at Loretta. I'll walk up to her and say, Miss Loretta, are you all right?
I am wonderful.
Can I do like a psychology check on her out and inspect what kind of state she's in? I think it's fairly obvious, but just to clear things up.
Please do.
Okay. I actually fail it. Oh, my psychology is so good.
She looks at you with tiny pupils and she just smiles.
That bastard did so much harm to this family, but the one good thing he did was introduce us to God's miracle of morphine.
So, we know about why Matthew had that fun fact earlier.
Yeah.
I can't stand the pain that I feel thinking about what that man did to my son. And so, I don't have to feel it now. I can just sit out here and enjoy how free my mind feels.
Mrs. Preston, where did you get this drug?
From John. He knew where to get it. This is what was left. And after this, nothing that was his is gonna be left around us. He will be gone.
Adam is just like so disappointed. Well, ma'am, I surely hope you can show a little bit more restraint next time and support your son when he needs it instead of cowering with some newfangled drug. Do you have a radio?
Not anymore. John smashed it to bits before he left.
Smashed it to bits.
Did he
the
now?
the night before he left.
Yes. Yes, he smashed it to bits the night before he left.
Do you by any chance still have the parts of this radio somewhere around here?
I don't know. John kept the radio in his study. I don't ever go in there. I believe that there's a radio in the school. Yes, there's a radio in the school.
All right, Miss Loretta, if you can understand me, we're gonna be taking our leave. Your son is upstairs, and he is doing okay. Well, as okay as he can be doing. So we'll get out of your hair.
Oh, I understand you just fine. I'm high, not asleep.
Well, Mrs. Preston, thank you very much for all your help.
We do appreciate it.
We'll get out of your hair now.
I suppose we might as well head to the barber shop then, huh?
As you guys make it back towards Main Street after a little while of walking, evening life has begun on this cool Sunday evening in Cedar Falls. Individuals mill about, conversing around the park adjacent to the town square, enjoying ice cream at the soda pop, or just taking a stroll before dinner. 5 o'clock draws ever nearer as you walk up to the barbershop. It's a plain brick building, but through the windows you can see a hair-covered tile floor, rows of mirrors, and customers leaning far back in their chairs. the most perfectly normal barbershop you've ever seen. Good thing you know about the secret that lies beneath the tile flooring.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun. That's right. We're going into the barber shop.
All right, you guys walk into the barbershop, and almost all the chairs are full of customers, and barbers are busy cutting hair and trimming beards. And you see that the owner of the barbershop, Aaron Freeman.
Hey fellas, we're gonna be closing soon. Do you have an appointment with somebody?
I look at him and I say, Toberman.
He's on break, but go get him from the back so we can wrap this up and close, okay?
You got it. And I'll walk towards the back.
You guys walk to the back, and you see a man, just this hulking beast of a man. Even through his suit, you can tell that this guy is absolutely shredded. If you looked up the definition of bodyguard, this would be the guy. And Jonah, you know that his name is Moses, and he gives you a look, and he grabs onto the side of a large shelf that just has a label that says paper records. It has all sorts of loose papers and clippings and stuff like that. And as he grabs the ledge, he swings it outwards to reveal a set of stairs that lead down.
Follow me, gentlemen.
By all means.
As you begin to descend the smooth stone stairs, Moses closes the concealed door behind you, plunging the walkway in darkness. You blindly walk through the dark for a moment before another door in front of you slowly creaks open. You're bathed in soft, warm light and upbeat jazz. As you enter into the dolled-up dame, you're greeted with a lively setting of people lounging in plush seating, talking, dancing, and enjoying their illicit beverages. You're not sure which entrances all these people have come from, and honestly, you're not quite sure if you even care, as you feel yourself immediately loosen up and let out a breath of relief. You have the matchbook and some idea that John Griffith is tied to this place, but the pieces have yet to fit together. This place is lively, especially for a Sunday night. Surely, somebody here has something that could help you, but standing around is not a great look when you need to blend in. You guys see that the layout of the bar, as soon as you walk in, directly in front of you and to the left is the bar. There's a barkeeper up there. There's a couple people sitting at the bar. To the far left is a door that leads to what people call the dance floor. It's just a big tiled floor with a stage next to it with a band playing live music. To your right are some dining booths and tables. To the far end of the room is the lounge area with some tables and chairs, and then the bathrooms tucked behind that.
So I immediately look around. Do I see Clyde anywhere?
You do not see Clyde.
Are there any empty seats at the bar?
There are multiple empty seats at the bar, and you also see a bartender that you've seen numerous times before, though you've never quite gotten his name, and you're not sure if he's ever given it out.
Take a seat, gentlemen. The main rule here is we keep it on the down low. Only use your first name. Don't use your last. Nobody needs to be known coming in and out.
Jonah, if I might ask, how do you know about this place?
I had a friend named Clyde here that I met when I first got into town. He showed me this place when I was looking for info, but it doesn't look like he's here. At least I haven't seen him pass by at all. Do you guys know what you'd like to drink? I'll wave the bartender over.
You wave the bartender over. He's a clean-shaven older man with short white gray hair, an expensive suit, and a white Chatham fedora. Bartender gives you an easy smile, bends down the countertop to retrieve 3 glasses for you guys. As he stands up, you find yourself looking down the barrel of a 12-gauge shotgun.
Oh,
Unexpected.
wow.
Damn.
Thanks everybody for joining us for episode 2 of Tales of the Other Side. I've been Matthew, your keeper.
I'm Nathan. I played Jonah Thorogood, the investigative journalist with a heart of gold and a story to tell.
I'm Nick, and I played Archibald Bauer, a professor from Boston who is getting in a little bit over his head.
I'm Noah. I play Adam Whitlock, father, husband, archaeologist, and lone wolf.
I was hoping you were gonna say lone wolf.
Great, Ed.
Chapter 3, Speak Easy and Carry a Big Gun, is coming at you on November 20th at 12 p.m. Eastern, and we will see you guys then.
Be easy and carry a big
Hot.
gun is a crazy name.
That's awesome.
That's so good. That's really clever.